Hi, my name's Craig Muirhead and I'm going to try and teach you how to play the chanter and hopefully the bagpipes online. So we'll start here with the practice chanter. Now if you don't have one of these, I suggest going and ordering one, but you can make do with a pen just now just to get used to the fingering. So we'll start off with the left hand on top. There are 7 holes here at the front and there's 1 hole at the back. So make sure the 7 holes are facing towards the front. We'll start with the left hand and your thumb goes on the back hole there, and then you have your first finger, middle finger and ring finger, and just relax your pinky and leave it off the chanter to the side of your ring finger. Then on the right hand we have the first finger, the next hole, middle finger, ring finger and pinky on the bottom. Now on the bottom hand, I always mark a new pupil's fingers where they should be covering the hole. You'll notice that we're not using the tips of our fingers like other instruments, but quite relaxed, using the sort of middle pad of the finger and keeping the fingers straight. So those 2 dots there, one on the index finger, and you're going to cover the hole there with that part of the finger. The pinky is covered here. And if those are in position properly, these 2 should just drop into place. Now, it might take a bit of time to get everything covered properly, but once everything is covered, we should sound a low G, which sounds like this. If it doesn't sound like that, it's most likely to be a finger not covering the hole properly. Make sure the holes are directly in front of you and not to either side, so they could be creeping out beneath one of the fingers. So again, everything nice and relaxed and straight, and we'll play a low G. If you need to pause and make sure you've got that right, please feel free to do so. Try not to get too frustrated if it's not working for you. I think the best advice is to just relax your fingers and make sure you're using those sort of middle fleshy parts of the finger. So that's the first note, low G. The next note is low A. We're just lifting the pinky up. Then the next note is B, lifting up the next finger. The next note, you are going to lift up the middle finger, but you're also going to put the pinky back down, making sure you're covering the hole with the dot. And that's a C. And I always think the best way to remember a C is it creates a sort of C shape with your fingers there. The last note of the bottom hand is a D, and you're going to keep your pinky down and lift up your index finger. So that's the first 5 notes of the scale, and all the notes of the bottom hand. We'll just recap them here. We've got low G, low A, B, C, and D. We're now going to cross over to the top hand. Now it's important that whenever you play in the top hand, your bottom hand looks like this. Your pinky up and 3 fingers down, like this. Okay, and the first note of the top hand is everything down, barring the ring finger. And that's E. Okay, the next note is F. And that was just lifting up the next finger. The penultimate note is high G, lifting up the next one. That's high G, and we'll finish with the last note. You're going to take your thumb off, and as you bring your thumb off, you're going to put your ring finger back down on its hole. And that's high A. So those are the 9 notes of the scale. We'll just recap the top hand once more, starting on E, F, high G, and high A. Now before we put that all together, it's worth noting that some people have a bit of difficulty going between the notes D and E. And that's because you're going between the bottom hand and the top hand, and there is a potential for a crossing noise which sounds a bit like this. So to avoid that crossing noise in between there and keep the transition of the notes clean, I would encourage you to lift your fingers quite high and be very confident about what note it is you're going to. So D to E. So that's 3 fingers down on the bottom hand, pinky up, and ring finger up on the top hand. So now, using the PDF file provided, which gives you diagrams of each of the notes, we're going to try and go all the way up the scale and all the way down the scale. So starting on low G. Finishing on high A. Now that's something you might want to try a few times. Practice it as much as you need to. It's important to master that. And then we're going to try and come back down the scale using all the same notes. Starting on high A this time. So give each note a good blast, plenty of time on each note, and those are the 9 notes of the scale. So I'd encourage you to go and practice that as much as you can. Make sure you have that mastered before you move on to the next video, when we'll look at the first piece of ornamentation. So thanks for watching, and I hope you got on well with your chanter, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thanks.